Today we are going to do review of Gigabyte E350N motherboard. You can see the motherboard here. It is a mini board. The system configuration that we are testing it on is Antec BP300V 240 watt power supply. We are having this motherboard comes with a APU, so we don't require a processor for it. It has an AMD dual core E350D APU on it. There is an 8GB Xeon RAM on it. There are two hard drives. One is SanDisk Ultra Plus 240GB SSD and second is Western Digital KVR Black 2TB hard drive. So this is the entire setup with a wireless USB mouse and keyboard. We'll just turn on the system and we'll check out the config, how the performance it is. Before that, I'll just give you a short highlight of features that this motherboard offer. This motherboard is designed with ultra durable 4 classic PCB, which offer you more durability and long lasting performance. Also, it has an AMD dual core 350D APU, which has integrated AMD Radeon 6 and 6000 series processors. So it is like a CPU and graphic card both for the system. It supports DDR3 RAM up to 8GB, up to 16GB, and it has a single PCI slot here. You can see this, there is a single PCI slot with integrated HDMI and a high-speed USB port on the board. On the back side, there are only two USB ports, while there are some additional connectors provided on the front side. Now we'll just turn it on and check out how it works. Now this is the BIOS screen of Gigabyte E350N mini motherboard. We'll check out the BIOS option first and we'll later on go on the operating system and find out the performance of this board. Now this is the BIOS screen of Gigabyte E350N. You can see the standard features here. The first one is MIT, which is MB Intelligent Tweaker. This is a kind of overclocking utility that allow you to boost the CPU performance in case if you find that the system is working slow. You can see the set of options available here: IGS configuration, frequency, CPU frequency, which is set on normal, and maximum you can put it on 1600 MHz if you want. But it is recommended that you must not touch this setting unless and until you are completely aware that by modifying you are going to get any result or not. You can see there are warning available on the left side because overclocking can cause serious damage to your system hardware. So better it is necessary that you should only use it when it is required, or you have ample of information on the same. Other features are standard that are commonly available in every BIOS. For example, the CMOS feature that tell you about the hard drive and the total memory available, total RAM installed. In the same way, advanced BIOS features allow you to control different configuration here. You can change the boot devices, you can add a password or simply enable smart capability from here. This is integrated peripherals where you can enable and disable different controller of the motherboard. In the same way, power management setup allow you to configure the power settings. PC health status tells you information about the current system status, what is the voltage, what is the Vcore used, and your CPU fan speed and CPU temperature. So this is the BIOS of Gigabyte E350, and now we'll boot in operating system and we'll check out the performance here. I have installed two operating system on this motherboard. I am using an SanDisk Ultra Plus SSD for it because SSD are quite great in performance. I have installed Windows 8 at one side and Windows 7 on the second partition. We'll check out the performance output on it. Right now I am having 4GB RAM on it. I am having a 8GB RAM stick, but as a 32-bit operating system and 32-bit architecture limitation, we are only able to use 4GB RAM. I have also installed a game on it called as Prototype because I want to test the graphic output of this system. We'll first check out how Windows 8 work on it. If you're having a decent hardware, for example, if you're having a good SSD or a good hard drive with enough RAM and at least 512 MB of graphic card, you will be able to get a good performance out of this mini board compared to what we are getting on a bigger size. This is Windows 8 installed on a Gigabyte 350N. Now this is the hardware information. You can see here AMD E350 processor. The clock rate of this processor is 1.60 GHz only, but it is enough for using Windows 8 without graphic card. And as I said before, if you install a graphic card, you will get a much better output compared to this what I am getting right now. Now I'll restart the PC and go in Windows 7. We'll check out some games output on it because on Windows 8 games are not quite working stable on it. So it would be better if we do that on Windows 7, and we'll also perform some benchmarking tests to find out what score we are going to get on E350N. Gigabyte E350N is an ultra durable board. That means the board circuit is capable of tolerating humidity, electrostatic and power failure with high temperature. So these are some unique features that grade this board as classic 4 standard, and also they are marked as performance motherboard. The PCB is made up of glass fabric which is powerful and work quite better compared to the regular models available in the market. Now I have started my PC in Windows 7, and we'll first check out the game output of this game. Prototype 2 is one of the most recent games that was released within some months ago, and it requires a good graphic card, but without graphic card also I am able to play the game at a very lowest setting. The quality is a bit dull, but that shows that if I add a 512 MB to 1 GB of graphic card on this motherboard, I will be able to get nice output from it. We'll check out the output, what it is getting, and I'll also show you the setting that I am using for playing this game. Now this is the video setting here of the game. You can see I have kept it on the lowest resolution, which is 800 by 600, and I have turned off all the additional options, for example anti-alias, VSync, shadow, etc. So the screen is a bit slow in performance, but still the game is working. We'll play one level and we'll check out what is the output of this. You can see it is quite slow. See, this is the graphic output of Gigabyte 350N. So as I said before, that if you add a graphic card on this motherboard, it will be able to give you a nice output for latest game also, and on medium setting, not on high settings. Along with the motherboard, Gigabyte offers you a utility DVD that has AMD Fusion control panel and tune-up utility. The thing that we are doing in BIOS, for example, we are overclocking the processor. The same thing you can do it through that Easy Tune 6. This application comes in the driver CD. This is also a configuration type of application that give you information on the entire hardware, whatever is inside your system. You can see the CPU clock rate here, which is 1600 MHz, and the system bus speed here, along with the model number and other information. This is the memory section. Now this is the tuner part. Here you can increase the FSB so that your system can perform much better. It is recommended that you do this only if you are having enough information about boosting your system processor clock, system FSB, or there will be a problem with the hardware. The same is applicable for graphic also. You can see the maximum memory that we are having right now on is 492 MHz. That means it is almost near to 512 MB of GPU. But if we are having 1 GB of any latest graphic card, the video output of this system will be much more better. Second is AMD Vision Engine Control. Now this is a quick utility that allow you to perform different number of tasks on your system. For example, you can simply configure your desktop through this part. You can configure a dual display, or you can rotate the display. You can manage additional video output here. This is AMD Vision is provided by AMD itself, so that you can simply configure multiple monitors on your system for different type of work. You can see the video section here. You can configure the video settings. You can simply configure the 3D application settings through this. Under the performance sector, you can simply configure the CPU processor speed. This is a slider type application. You just have to drag it up and front and back to configure the CPU output, but it is recommended that you do not do any changes to the CPU processor speed. This is by default configured between 800 to 1600 MHz, and above that you cannot go above that. This is the maximum limit. Gigabyte E350N delivers ideal output for STPC system, which are home theater PC, and also for basic home and office usage. And for those, it is also helpful for those who need a portable system for professional work only. As I said that for gaming it is bit low on hardware, but at least with a good graphic card you can get a performance from it. Now it is having an integrated APU, that means the CPU does the work of video processing also. That is why it is getting a bit hot. I had tested some video processing application on this and found that the CPU temperature rises very quickly. Otherwise the board is best for office applications, social networking, web surfing, etc. It is also durable, so it is designed to give you a long lasting performance. You can easily find a mini CPU case for this, and that will also allow you to save some space on your desk. The price of this motherboard is Rs 4500, which is quite cheaper compared to some low grade model available in the market. The positive point of this motherboard is it has an ultra durable PCB. It offers you an integrated 400 MHz of video memory. Performance wise it is good for office usage. The negative point of this motherboard is that it is not upgradable. You cannot upgrade the processor of this system, and there is some limitation of connectivity on it. That's all for now. For more review, tutorial, news and updates on latest technology, visit techarena.in. Thank you. Have a nice day.